Hello there, Raymond F. Brandis family. This is Mr. Washington, the Culture and Climate Specialist here. I just want to take you on a tour of our school today and talk about some of the expectations that we have here in person at Raymond F. Brandis. You're going to hear me talk a lot about the Bulldog Way, which includes being respectful, being responsible, being safe, and doing your best. And those four things is what we really want to focus on in a few different areas of our building. So welcome. I'm glad to have you back. Today's video will be broken down into 5 different sections. We'll talk about arrival, hallway, restroom, cafeteria, and the playground. So let's talk arrival. First thing first, make sure you come to school with a positive attitude, saying good morning, waving, smiling, and those things. But most importantly, make sure you are ready to learn. I want to point out there are 3 points in arrival: door, breakfast, classroom. Door meaning which door do you come into to enter our building. Once you enter the building, you need to go directly to the table and grab your breakfast. And after grabbing breakfast, I need you to head directly to class. So again, you'll hear me talk about door, breakfast, class. All right, to my bus riders, all right, you notice I'm right in the front of the building. You guys will come in through our very front doors. I'm gonna turn the camera around so I can walk you through what we do. Alrighty, we're gonna enter through the front doors. Mr. Washington will be standing right here. That's where you wanna smile and say good morning, those type of things. You'll come in through our front doors here, and then right on the other side of these cafeteria doors, there will be 2 tables that sit right here where you're going to pick up your breakfast and then head down this hallway to class. Again, you'll come in through this door. You'll come right here to get your breakfast, and then you'll head down to class. Just to clarify some things, no students will be able to go down this hallway in the morning for restrooms or anything of that nature. So just make sure, again, you're gonna grab your breakfast and head to class. Thank you. Walkers and riders, you guys are gonna come in off the parking lot through our gym door. And again, I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you the way that we need you to go. All right, you guys are gonna again come through the parking lot, enter through our gym doors, where you will come straight across the gym floor. And when you come through the doors, you will turn immediately right. There will be 2 tables that are right here. You will pick up your breakfast and head straight down the hall to class. Before we do move on to our next point, a few things that I do want to point out to you guys. A, we want to make sure that there's not big groups in the hall or those things, so do give each other space. B, we want to make sure we're not hanging out in the hall, so as you grab your breakfast, do make sure you are heading directly and straight to class, please. To sum up the arrival procedure, I just want to remind you, it is door, breakfast, classroom, which means we are walking directly off the bus into our correct door, grabbing our breakfast into our classroom door. Thank you. All right, let's begin our next point of hallway expectation. And again, Bulldog Way is what we want to talk about. Being respectful, being responsible, being safe, most importantly, doing your best. If you are out in our hallways, number one thing, you need to make sure you have a pass. Got to have a pass to be out in the hallway. Our next thing, I'm just going to go this way, is make sure you are at a level 0 as other classrooms are going on, which means our voice volume level should be off. And if we're not focusing on talking, then you should be headed directly to where it is that you're going. So if the restroom's where I'm going, then that's where I need to head to. Another thing, as I'm passing the sign, please make sure we keep our hands off of the signs and things that you see around the building. Just be respectful and responsible in that. And last but not least, make sure you are making smart choices. Okay, Raymond F. Brandis family, let me elaborate a little bit on what I mean by smart choices. So that means that I am walking on the right side of the hallway. I'm facing front, so please don't walk backwards. If you do see any trash or those things in the hallway, please do pick that up and throw it in a trash can. There's a trash can almost outside of every single classroom. So again, we want to make sure we're doing everything to keep our building looking good. So again, just make sure we are staying on the right side of the hall. having quiet feet, and walking in a single file line. Now, due to COVID safety, we also want to keep space in between each other at about a 3 feet distance. So if you were thinking about maybe holding like an arm's length or double arm's length away from the next person in front of you, that's the space that we would like to keep during that time. Hallway brings us to our third point to talk about today, which is restroom. And when I talk restroom, I'm also going to include the water fountain and the expectation with that. So the restroom, as we come on in here, a couple things that we want to talk about is quiet voices. Again, we should just come in here, use the restroom, and come out. But more importantly, I want you to be thinking two. So thinking two, that would be 2 pumps of the soap. That would be 2 towels that you see out of here, so hitting that twice, and then making sure that you flush, but the whole process should take 2 minutes. If you see any problems in here, so maybe something's leaking or any of that type of thing, please make sure you do report that to the teacher on the outside. All right, little trivia question for you. What do you think is the most important thing that we want you to do when we're talking restroom? I'll give you a second. Hopefully you came up with wash your hands. Please make sure you use soap to wash your hands. Water is not enough. So please make sure you do use the soap when washing hands. Water fountain. I'm gonna have to flip the camera around to walk you through the process of the water fountain. Here at Raymond F. Brandis, each student will be given a water bottle. All right, and when you look at the water fountain, you see we have a traditional water fountain, and then we have our bottle filling station. We would really encourage you guys to use the water filling station, and all I have to do is place my bottle right underneath, and as you can see, water will come out through the sensor, and then I remove it, and then it will stop. Again, we would like you or encourage you not to use this one. Fill your water bottles up. Let's head outside and let's talk a little bit about playground. So when we come out for playground, a couple reminders to you. We want to make sure that we take turns, that we're sharing, we're taking good care of our equipment, our school equipment, and things like that. But there will be a few differences this year. So you guys will have areas or designated areas. So there will be one classroom that'll be on the playground here. And then there will be another classroom that'll be over here on the blacktop. All right. A couple rules this year. You must stay with your class, so we can't mix and those things. So please do help us out by making sure you stay in your allotted area. I will tell you we have some gym equipment and things that come out, and that equipment goes out with the group on the blacktop. So again, we cannot mix classes, and again, that's due to our safety procedures and things of that nature. So you'll help us out a long way if you just stay in your given place. Make sure also on the playground that we are walking out to the playground, and again, when we're asked to line up, we want to walk to line up to come out as well. But remember that distancing, so we want to stay at least 3 feet behind the next person. So we'll still be in a single file line. We'll just have to stretch that line out a little bit more. And while you're on the playground, again, I just want to bring up that bulldog way. So making sure you're respectful to each other, responsible with the equipment, being safe, but most important, always making good choices, doing your best. In the hallway, you're going to notice these bright yellow arrows, and then our please stand 6 feet apart. So again, when we are walking in the hallway in a single file line, use these markings on the floor to kind of help you with how far or how much space we would like you to have between one another. So again, we will be single file, but again, we need to stand about this far apart. Are you hungry? Boy, Mr. Washington's hungry. Let's talk a little bit about cafeteria and how we're going to go through and get our food in the cafeteria. We will walk down the hall in a single file line, again, making sure to keep the spacing. When you come to our cafeteria door, that first person needs to stop right here at the cafeteria door. Please do not walk into the cafeteria until we are asked to walk into the cafeteria. Once we enter into the cafeteria, you will come in and you'll stand right by this lovely first door. It'll be swung open. You'll stop here again and you'll wait on Mrs. Brown, our cafeteria lady, to ask you to come in. You will walk into the door, get your lunch, and you will come out of our second door here where you will walk. And instead of coming, and then you will turn right. You will follow along this wall. and you're going to go right out of our door, and you're gonna line up on the opposite side of the hall. We're gonna line up the opposite side of the wall, and you can use this for the first person, which is our doorway for the first person. A few etiquette rules as we go through the cafeteria. Please do provide some space to the student that's in front of you. There should only be one at a time in the cafeteria actually going through the line. Once we pick up our lunch, remember we were walking that path on the outside, and you should end up on the opposite side of the hallway, standing, holding your lunch. And as that second person comes up, again, remember social distancing. So you can use the markings on the floor, which they're there. You can use those markings on the floor to help you with how far to stand apart. The teacher will then take the class once everybody has gone through the line. We're standing at this door. The teacher will then take the entire class back to the classroom, which is where we will be eating lunch this school. Take care of your area, eat your food only, and make sure that we keep our own space and things cleaned up. If every student does that, we will have a clean lunch. And remember, you guys are eating in your classroom, so we want to make sure to clean that back up because that is also our learning environment. Okay, Raymond F. Brandis family, we have made it to our fifth and final expectation, which is dismissal process. So the first thing I want to remind you is you will be responsible to take that computer or tablet home and bring it back every single day. If I can give you a gentle reminder from Mr. Washington, please make sure that it stays charged. Outside of that, please make sure you keep all of your belongings and things to yourself. Please don't touch anyone else's things. We want to stay in a single file line with another gentle reminder to stay 3 feet apart as you are walking. We do have a little different process, so I want to go over that than last year for our Raymond F. Brandis Bulldog. What are those differences, you ask? Well, last year we used to separate you guys into car riders, walkers, and bus riders. This year, the only separation is where you stand in line. All of you will be in a single file line, socially distanced about 3 feet apart, and everyone will exit through these side doors here. And again, I'll flip the camera and take you on a staggered delay, so it'll be one class that comes out at a time. Please make sure you stay on the right side of the hallway. You will come down the hall, and we will turn out of these side doors here. As we come out, you'll notice a sidewalk. The reason I'm pointing that out is we would like you to stay on the sidewalk, please. We will then turn, and again, during this time, we need to make sure we are socially distanced. We don't want to all be bunched up together, and we would like you to stay about 3 feet apart. Once we make it to the end of the walkway, and again, we don't want to cut across the grass, so please do not cut across the grass. Stay on the sidewalk. Bus riders, as you begin to walk down, you will get on the correct bus that belongs to you. Just as a reminder, the first day you guys will have a wristband on that matches the color of the bus that you should get on. As we begin to get to the front of the school building, you can see here, this is where walkers will begin to break off. Either if you're in the what we call front walkers, which means you walk down our front main street here, and our back walkers are the ones who use the big field in the back. So you'll hear people say, are you a front walker or a back walker? But this is where you will divide off. Last but definitely not least, when we want to talk a little bit about our car rider situation. So when you guys enter into the gym, that you will sit single file. And again, I just want to show you those red X's on the floor kind of signify how far we would like you to sit apart. You will sit as a class or sit a single file with your etiquette. In the gym for our car riders, a few things. Please don't get out homework or materials or any of that kind of thing. That way, when your name is called, you can head to the door right away. We don't have to wait on you to pack up, so we will be asking you to make sure you keep everything in your backpack. Secondly, that voice volume level should be no higher than a 1, which is a whisper, or 0 if that's what the staff, our teachers are asking you to do. Again, because the most important thing in here is hearing your name called so that you can get to the door and out of here as fast or as soon as possible. My last take-home message for car riders is please do remember you do not leave the gym for any reason whatsoever. Once you come through those gym doors, the next door you exit or go out of is the door that takes you home. So please be sure to stay in the gym and make good choices. And by making good choices, just follow the teachers and the staff that's in the gym, and everyone will have a great time.